What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome to NYJ Today. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the reasons why the New York Jets should absolutely be considering Zach Wilson at the number 2 overall pick. Let's get after it. To start this video off, we're going to talk about a couple of things that I think need to be said, starting with Zach Wilson. So, first of all, I've seen some lazy takes on the internet where people are comparing Zach Wilson to Mitchell Trubisky and how Mitch Trubisky, he had a big year in college football and, he stinks, so Zach Wilson's going to stink. And, you really just can't do that. When you're looking at a college prospect, you cannot just say, oh, he had one season where he was very successful, and so let's compare him to this other player that also had something similar. It's just not a good way to conduct any kind of evaluation on a player when they're coming out in the NFL. So just right off the bat, I wanted to start by saying that. So when we look at Zach Wilson's college career, he had 247 completions this past year with 336 attempts. He completed almost 74% of his passes, 3,692 passing yards, and he had 33 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. So first off, this is not his only year of being the starting quarterback. He played 9 games the year prior and 9 games his first year in college football. So he has lots of starting experience, over 30 games, I believe, to be as a starter in college football, which is pretty good. If we're going to compare him to anybody as far as like a meteoric rise in production, we could compare him to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow struggled in his year prior to his Heisman campaign. He was not doing very well at LSU, and we can look at the stats here. Just in 2019, Zach Wilson only had 11 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. So there's really not anything necessarily concerning with a player when they do bust out like this. It would be more concerning if they busted out in 1 year and didn't have any other real starting experience with Mitch Trubisky. And that was the problem with Mitchell Trubisky coming out of college, was that he didn't have a lot of game experience. He had 1 full season as a starter, and we can see that this is not the case with Zach. Before we discuss any of Zach Wilson's game tape, I wanted to talk about his awesome scheme fit for the New York Jets. So we all know that Robert Saleh was hired as the head coach of the New York Jets, and along with him came Mike LaFleur, younger brother of Matt LaFleur from the Green Bay Packers, and these two both run the Shanahan offense. And recently, Zach Wilson was interviewed by a BYU reporter, and the reporter asked him straight up, he just said, what kind of offense would you like to see yourself in the NFL? And Zach Wilson came out and straight up just said, I want to play in the Shanahan offense. He says he thinks that he'd be a great fit, and I happen to agree. He's got great mobility. He will be great throwing on the run. He'll be great using play action. And actually, an underrated aspect of Zach Wilson that I see in the game tape that we're going to be looking at is his really good footwork, I think. He uses his feet to make good throws, whether it's on platform or off platform. So right away, if he were drafted at the number 2 overall pick, scheme fit would not be one of the concerns that we would have moving forward with him. Another thing I'd like to discuss is that a lot of Jets fans are saying, Zach Wilson might not be worth the number 2 overall pick, but would be willing to trade back and select him. I don't think that's the kind of risk that you would take when you're trying to select a quarterback. You don't move back to take your franchise quarterback. I think that if they get settled on the idea of him not only being a great fit for the offense, but being their future for the franchise, I think they need to go ahead and use the number 2 overall pick to select him. Trading back is too risky, and Joe Douglas, if he identifies him as a potential franchise quarterback, he's not going to move back to take him. So I just think the Jets fans need to get used to the idea that if they do fall in love with him and if they do believe in him, they're not going to be moving back to select him. So to continue this video, I'm just going to be looking at some game tape of Zach Wilson. We're going to be just kind of quickly analyzing, what's happening on these specific plays that are on the screen and what kinds of things I see from the plays. I would love it if you guys could get after me in the comments section. Tell me what you think you see from Zach Wilson as a prospect, what you see from this game tape that I'm going to be going over in just a few seconds, and just give me your overall opinion on Zach Wilson as a prospect. So in this first play, we're looking at Zach Wilson, and they have him in a shotgun and an empty set. and he just takes off and runs. It's a designed quarterback run. I think that it makes me nervous when I see Josh Allen, who's not my quarterback, moving and running around, taking big hits. But what I do want to say is it's nice to have the option, and it's nice to have the defense have to be concerned with this. And moving forward, I would love to see the Jets using our quarterback, whether it's Deshaun Watson, Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. I want to see them implementing the running game with the quarterback to create situations where the defense has to account for the quarterback, because that makes it very, very difficult for the defense. It makes life hard on them when they have to game plan for a quarterback that can run. Again, I don't want Zach Wilson or any quarterback of ours running and taking big hits, but it is important that he has this ability, and he proves it here on this play. This next play that I'm going to be highlighting really shows Zach Wilson's ability to not only move out of the pocket, but also to throw on the run and with accuracy and with arm strength. So we're seeing in the NFL that there's a lot of really successful quarterbacks that have these traits. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. So when we're looking at it, we can't just sit here and say, he's playing a lower level competition, this isn't good enough. No, he's making the plays that are designed, and he's making the plays that are there to be made. And so I think we need to consider that when we look at Zach Wilson as a prospect. On this next play, this is probably my favorite showcase of what Zach Wilson is and what he can be in the NFL. So when we watch this play, he's on the left hash, and he throws it outside to the right sideline and hits the guy right where he needs to be. Now we can hear all of the people out there saying, he's open. He splits the defenders. He's got a cornerback on the bottom of the receiver, and he's got a safety to the side that he's got to fit this ball into, and he hits it right in the money. And again, left hash, throwing to the right, that's a very, very high difficulty throw to make, and he makes it look extremely easy, and that's where I think people are misguided when they're looking at Zach Wilson. They think the throws look too easy. He's making them look easy. He's got the arm talent to make all the throws. So again, this play is really impressive. Now this play, again, very, very impressive. I want you to watch the footwork. I want you to watch the play action, and I want you to see where he is on the field when he's throwing this ball to the player. So again, great footwork, steps into the throw, puts all of his weight on the left leg, and again, right hash, throwing to the left. Difficult to do. And again, it makes it look extremely easy. Now we know the guy's wide open, but again, you pay attention to the details in the throw. Right hash, left side of the field, and tremendous footwork. He keeps himself right on top of his base. And again, when you're looking at Sam Darnold, comparing Sam Darnold to throws like this, we know Sam Darnold does not have good footwork. There's a lot of things we can argue about with Sam Darnold. I don't think anybody can debate whether or not Sam Darnold has the tremendous footwork that is needed to be able to make difficult throws across the field like this. This next play is not necessarily anything special, but again, it shows that he has a head for the game. So let's watch the play at the very beginning. He takes the snap, he's looking left. He almost kind of does like a movement, like he's gonna throw left, and then has to move his eyes all the way across the field to the right side and finds his receiver going on a drag route. Again, nothing crazy, nothing fancy here, but again, he's showing the ability to make a read and to move off of that read and get to the next player who's open. Again, very impressive to see that he's able to do this in the offense. Really great. On this last play that I'm just going to showcase here, it's not necessarily, again, not a fantastic play by him, but again, he's using his ability to keep his feet under him. He's falling backward here only because he's got people in his face, but it just loves seeing him not panicking here when when the defenders are in his face, and he's able to get the ball off accurately, off platform. Again, that's something underrated in his game. He has the ability to throw on all different platforms, and it's very, very special to see quarterbacks that can do these types of things. That's going to do it for this episode of NYJ Today. If you're new here, please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. There's lots of uploads coming. We have a live stream coming up this Wednesday at 8 p.m., so please tune in for that. We would love to interact with you guys in the chat, so please consider attending that. I just want to say thank you for everybody that has commented and that has liked the videos. It means a lot. I'm really enjoying making this content, and I'm really enjoying talking Jets football with you all. So again, please stay tuned. NYJ Today is only getting started, And I just thank you again for all of your support. Have an awesome day and go Jets. See you guys next time.